Today, I have with me a dear friend of mine, Lalit Khatter.
I think definition plays a very critical
Absolutely.
role, and that's the reason you see that right now. The best of the voice bot and chatbots now with natural language, helping customers to understand their product very well. And if you don't have that documentation, which is we're talking about data here, right?
Yeah.
The technical architects,
Yeah.
it's basically their role is to basically figure out how this translates into business,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
For AWS, it's the kind of solution we have built. You take these are building blocks. This is the platform. Please go and build it. And these are some of these areas which you like. I don't remember there was well architected framework that time, but there were some best practices they have shared with us. So that as a PSA, that's one of the workstream item we have to create their business based on their business plan.
Sure.
Unless there's a business plan,
Yeah.
there's a GTM plan. The technical solutions, technical capabilities, what we are going to build by working with my peer in the partner organization will not fly. Kiro is one thing which I suggest my partners to go and start using it starting today. I would say this is another one more puzzle.
And by the way, you have not paid me to ask this question. Just
No.
just being very clear with the audience.
People know me aware of some of the practices which I follow, like my meditations is one which I do very often, and we got drowned, and this is my second life, if you can say that.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
We'll start another podcast.
We will. And hello everyone, I'm Sujay Maheshwari. I'm the host for ScaleToZero, the business edition. We also have a security edition. And today I have with me a dear friend of mine, Lalit Khatter, who is based out of Gurgaon and he works at AWS, Amazon Web Services. Lalit is a partner solution architect at AWS. And I know for a fact, I was looking at his LinkedIn and he's very recently completed 5 years at AWS. And that's a big deal because now he has a orange badge. I think you guys start with a blue and then an orange, and at 10 year you get a red badge. So it's an accomplishment. Congratulations, Lalit, and welcome to ScaleToZero, the business edition. I want to also tell the audience that this is completely unscripted. A meeting invite was sent to Lalit and we forcefully made him agree to coming to this show and give his valuable time. I don't think he has any idea largely what we are going to talk about. So expect a very candid conversation. So again, Lalit, very excited, and I love the fact that we are wearing very similar kind of clothing, similar brand, So you got the memo, so did I, and we both followed it to the T. I want to start with this. As you know, ScaleToZero, we talk about security a lot. So Puru, who is my co-founder, he talks about the technical part of security, and today we are going to talk about a lot of the business GTM channel partnership. I want to start with this with very basic question. What is partner solution architect? Like, what do you do, or what you have been doing for the past 5 years? What does your day look like? Like, so something which encompasses this now.
Sure. First of all, thanks, Sujoy. I'm really feeling excited to talk about some of the topics which are very closer to my heart. And I'm very passionate about the role which I'm playing. I got a lot of opportunities to kind of play different hats, not just from as a technical architect perspective and helping partners to kind of take their technical muscle from one level to another, but it is a very broader role, I would say, when it comes to have a partner solution architect helping partners.
Correct.
Now going back to your question on the kind of, by definition, what is that role, and what you end up doing a lot of things which is outside of your role,
Right.
right? So if you go by definition, it's a uh, my charter is to basically help SI, and I'm also helping some of the ISV partners to build their technical competencies. When I say technical competencies, I'm talking about technical practices with, there's a lot of groundwork which is required for the skills which is required from the partner technical team, and specific solutions which is required to build jointly with us, right? But broadly, this is one part of.
And this is likely your, like you can say, not a day job, but this is like 30, 40, 50% of what you do, sort of thing, largely.
Correct.
And
Correct.
and
And I'm referring to more of a 30, 40,000 feet
absolutely,
view of.
and we'll keep going deeper and deeper, right? Like,
Correct.
and I want to define certain things for folks who don't know AWS as much, right? So when you say SI, you are talking about system integrators and ISV, largely the product company sort of. So I think there are two large categories of partners, right? So
Yep.
an SI services company is like companies which don't build product, and then the companies which are more not services but more product. Like, is that something
Yeah.
at a
So broadly, if you look at SI/GSI is one
yeah,
category. So SI is the system integrators who are not very large. GSI, which are very
yeah,
large in nature, and um, they have a global presence typically. Not that SI don't have it; they also have growing. Uh, some of the partners has now kind of global setup
right,
now, and we call them maybe a large
right,
SIs,
right,
right?
right, right,
Not global
right,
SIs. Then ISV, as you mentioned, like who are building joint solutions with us.
right.
And there's another category which we normally use very often, like BCAP partners, which is business consulting and advisory partners,
Interesting. Okay.
where we have large consulting
Like the
partners.
big fours and accent. Like, okay, yeah, okay. Interest. Okay,
Correct.
okay, perfect.
And there's one other term which we use very often, which is the distributors.
Yes,
And most of ISU work through distributors if they're not managed. So that's the kind of term.
that is correct, right? So uh, let's okay. So we understand now a little bit of partner solution architect PSA. I think that's the acronym it goes. Uh, we'll come back to this. We'll go double click but let's go back. You started your career as a software engineer. You are a technical person. Even today, you write code. I'm aware of that. Uh, a little bit of how did you land with AWS, but why PSA? How did this all materialize? Because while this role is technical, you are not writing code for Amazon.com or AWS services, right? You have a different charter. Like a little bit of that journey that will at least help me and the audience to understand why are you so passionate about this, how this is all came about.
Sure. So for that, I'll just go back. When I started my career, maybe that will help
Yes,
understand, why what I'm doing and why I'm doing and why I'm passionate about.
yes,
So I started my career back in 99, 2000. So you can say that I'm 20, 25 years
yeah,
experience with multiple GSIs, which means that I understand this whole ecosystem very well.
correct.
I've been working with AWS when I was working with my previous, some of the previous
So,
roles.
so from the other
And
side, you were on the other side of the table. Yeah,
I was on the other side,
lovely.
and that's how the my relationship with the or my passion about AWS, to be more specific, started. And I'm talking about back in um, I think it is 2011, if I'm
Okay,
not wrong.
okay, it's been a while. Pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah. So well, we started working in, I think, 2010 sometime when I was with one of my previous organization.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the top FMG. customer. I was helping them to get onboarded,
On the cloud
and
journey and AWS journey. Yeah. Okay.
uh, so my charter was more of a solution building, and cloud becomes very natural choice to building as part of the overall solution building
Absolutely.
approach. And um, the other part of my journey was to help with the consulting partners, because typically the large brands, like I mentioned, FMG, one
Yeah.
of the top FMG customer we had, they work with very strategic approach where
Absolutely.
they have the large BCAPs helping them building their digital transformation
Right.
journeys, and uh, m- building marketing platforms. That was my charter. Was the first step.
Right. Right.
So that's how they start their branding, and then if you talk about, let's say, large insurance company, which again have a big brands, they have a marketing. They start with the marketing
Right.
platforms, and then they integrate their sales and
Right.
service
Right.
platforms,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
And if you look at end customer journey, it is very similar. So if, let's say, if the large insurance organization have to onboard a customer, that customer journey will start from marketing, right? So they
Correct.
go and they come to their website, they understand their products,
Right.
they ask few
Right.
questions, and most importantly, kind of build a trust,
Right.
because
Right.
that is the first starting point for any end customers to transact with
Absolutely.
the
Right.
brand,
Right. Build the trust, make the buying process easy, have the transparency in place. Like, hey, what does it take for me to buy an insurance? Absolutely. Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. Yeah. And
And this whole uh, some of the areas which you just mentioned is come under our customer
correct.
experience,
CX. Absolutely. Yes.
right?
Yes.
And that's what we used to call as a customer experience platforms, which I was building on top of
Nice.
AWS, and that's how my journey started. And I was very fortunate to work with some of the top AWS SAs across the world. I think India, they were still picking up
Yeah.
because this was a global brand.
Yeah.
I used to work with.
So you saw maybe when AWS still had maybe less than 10 services. They started with 4 services. Maybe they
Yeah,
had
you can.
10, 20 handful of services. You could remember that, okay, these are these services, right? And at that time, you are absolutely right. You got access to the actual product team, solution architect teams, maybe sitting out of Seattle or somewhere else, probably
Correct.
US largely. Uh, Beautiful time. Okay, so
So yeah, I think most of our solution which we are building was on top of EC2. Let's keep it
that
that way. I think
makes sense.
no RDO, there's no Aurora of the world,
Yes, sir.
and of course solutions we build that needs some
Yeah.
compute,
Storage S3 was always there, of course. It
storage
started.
SSD they started
Yeah.
with, and that's how the whole journey
Right,
started
right, right.
for those customers as
Yeah.
well, because that even that time cloud was picking up,
Absolutely.
right? And I think customer understand there's this is the future,
Absolutely.
and they want to start, and that's how we help some of the customers to basically start their cloud
Right,
journey
right,
with actual real business outcome solutions,
right,
which is helping their end
right.
customer. Like I said, we build marketing sites, which has including the marketing automation
Yeah.
tools to engage with the
Right,
customers, their potential
right,
customers
right. And
to come on board.
and Lalit, at that time when you were doing this, and I'm sure you did this for some time, did it cross your mind that I should work for AWS or I'll end up working for AWS?
No,
You were just enjoying the technology piece. You were
I was enjoying technology. I was uh, one thing which I loved about AWS was the kind of documentation they were preparing that time,
okay.
uh, and that's the only way I measure the technical maturity of the products.
Interesting.
That's how I take that, right? Unless you don't have a good uh, documentation which tells the story about your product,
Yeah.
uh, without any filters, right?
Yeah.
With all the limitations
Yes. Yes.
uh, and the strengths which the AWS was
Yeah.
building that time.
Yeah.
Uh, I was very so I think like, as I mentioned, for customers, as an end customer, you have to go and earn trust,
Yep.
right? That's how the transition
Yeah.
starts. Similarly for us, if we have to transaction with AWS, the trust was very important. And for me as a technical architect for that solution, uh, people talking on the phone and telling about great things about product is one way to
Yeah.
look at. But actually on hands-on and with minimum support, right,
Right.
from anybody which can give me through the documentation.
Right.
I keep saying that.
Right.
I think documentation plays a very critical
Absolutely.
role, and that's the reason you see that right now. The best of the voice bot and chatbots now with natural language, helping customers to understand their product very well. And if you don't have that documentation, which is we're talking about data here, right?
Data. Yeah.
Uh, you will not have that conversation, even though you using best of the best, generative AI tools on top of that.
Right. Right.
So,
That's very
and
interesting.
this is going to be the conversation, and this is happening right now as well, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Unless you have the real content, real data, structured
Yeah.
data, which high quality, you know, uh, you will not have that impact
Yeah.
if you don't have
And
it.
no Gen AI can help you here because ultimately it's the input which matters, to any of the output, that has go. That's beautiful.
And that's what we saw. That's what we saw, back in 2022 when or 23 when whole JDVI wave started,
Yes.
and customers were very excited. Hey, I want to start, and they start with POC, but they stuck.
Yeah.
They stuck because they don't have the data
Correct. Correct.
to actually make it more meaningful for them.
Correct. Very interesting,
Uh,
right? And I think you definitely are highlighting, and it's resonating with me as a technical guy, that if the products which have been the bottom up product, as we call them, right, is you can earn that trust. And trust is not just about whether the service works, but can I use the service? If its service goes down, can I figure it out, how to fix it, right? That is
Correct.
all about, have you empowered me as an individual, as a technical person? Have you empowered me? And if that happens, you have got my trust. I can figure things out, right? As an engineer, as a technical person. That's very
And going back to that's one part. So documentation, services, portfolio, and the maturity of some of the services. I think that's one part of the puzzle.
correct.
Second part of that puzzle is as a solution architect, and I'm not saying I'm a AWS solution architect that
Yeah,
time. I was more of a
correct,
platform solution architect,
correct,
right?
correct.
How I'm building that solution, right, for the customers with the um, the with the kind of limitation these services may have to get the real business
Right,
outcomes. How do I go and overcome with that?
right, right, right,
Right?
right,
Is a real solution architect role, I would say.
right.
If everything the solution does by itself, there's no solution architect
Absolutely,
requirement,
right. Absolutely.
right? So be that performance, be that security, be that cost,
Reliance, availability, so many. Absolutely, 100%.
right? So you look at all other areas which are required to build end-to-end solution,
Right.
uh, and uh, and that is how it actually. I was very impressed when I started working on this, building the solution
Correct.
with the kind of Legos I have. Let's use EC2, with S3, and then EVS, and we were having struggling in terms of deploying, SQL Server cluster.
Yeah.
I'm talking about back in
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
2010,
Yeah.
2011, and figured out how EBS can support this partitioning and things like that,
Absolutely.
right? When it comes to Windows clustering approach, so that nobody had done that at that time,
Sure.
and we started we s- we started with that, and we shared a lot of feedback to AWS
Okay.
that time.
And
Okay.
and then I'm sure you got attached to AWS as a cloud platform, right? And you kept working, building your knowledge relationship, right? How did it happen when maybe an opportunity came to you that, hey, there is this role, or you came to know about that there's something called as partner team. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah,
Before you talk
sure.
about your PSA journey, what you do, I want to like, how does somebody like you, who is so into the weeds of building solutions,
Yeah,
comes to know and gets sold on the partners? There is something called as PSA. Let's do this, and you're like, yeah, this makes sense. That is
yeah.
important.
So I'll fast forward to to answer your question, and uh, just to complete that
Yeah,
story. We have good. I think this is one of the top. At that time, we was it's a great success story for AWS and for my
yeah,
organization and for the
sure.
customers when uh, we have this platform globe. It's a more of a global
Okay,
platform. It's still running,
okay, okay. Awesome.
and we have still. I keep interacting with that team. Often because
You have
um,
left a part of you there already.
my
Absolutely.
first love
Yeah,
for that
sure,
platform when I started building it,
sure.
and it's still 200 team members across the globe
Wow,
managing.
wow,
Uh,
amazing.
so now going back to the my role when I got to know about this opportunity, I looked at a very very high level, to be very honest, and when I looked at as a partner solution architect, it kind of resonated with the role which I'm playing. And when I was working with AWS and how that time there was no PSA,
Okay,
by the way,
okay, okay.
it was just SAS. But I can still I can resonate that why this role is very very important,
Correct.
right? Because for SA, AWS SA, it's more focused on the solutions, what they have built, and for the technical
Yeah,
architects, it's basically their role is to basically figure it out how this translates into business,
correct,
right?
correct,
The, for AWS, it's, kind of solution we have built. You take these are building blocks. This is the platform. Please go and build it.
correct.
And these are some of these areas which you like. I don't remember there was well architected framework that time, but there were some best practices they
Sure,
have shared with
sure.
us. Now, if I look at right now, I see that there was a kind of a gap between a customer to understand and the product which has been built by SAS, um, to understand customer needs and kind of how that translate into the solutioning.
Sure.
Once they go and figure it out, so that's the role of PSA now is basically is to kind of bridge that gap. Is they understand customer requirements, they understand AWS strengths
Right.
and deltas, and then kind of marry them together and maybe building a joint solution. That is where this joint solution building exercise comes, which mean that uh, in my role now, this partner is basically taking the joint responsibility
Right.
um, to understand what partner want to build.
Right. So let's continue on this thread now. Let's go one layer deep, right? Let's say, and maybe this answer, if I were to treat you as a foundational model, which you are in many ways, uh, if I were to write a prompt for you right now, I would say that, Lalit, act like you are an advisor sort of thing, and you're talking to a partner, an SI partner, because you have been on the SI side, and now of course you are a PSA. If it's a new partner, and it's an established company, so we are not talking a SI company, a services company, which is like two people team. We are talking about, they have been around for 4 or 5 years. They know AWS a little bit. Of course, they have built a lot of solutions on top of AWS, but they are not partners with AWS, because the question for them is, why should I partner with AWS? Why does it make sense? How does it help me? Right? But now they are thinking about working with AWS. So
Mhm.
how would an SI company uh, start to work with you particularly? Like what role a PSA plays for an SI company who is just getting started, who are leaned in but they are confused. They don't know
Yep.
how to navigate the system, right?
Yep.
How would you work with them day to day? And most importantly, what questions they should ask you, what should be their ask, because they can't come and tell you that Lalit, tell us what to build next. That's not how it works, as I understand.
Yep.
How can they be successful? Like, so something around that, if you can help. And this is a shout out for any net new partner. If you want to know how to work with Lalit slash PSA team, right? How would that happen?
Great question, Brother Sujay. I think this is the biggest puzzle we are trying to solve, and we have solved
Yes.
for most of the
Yeah.
partners.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I give you uh, a very summarized version. Like I said, there are a lot of things which we do on the ground to help partners where they're not sure what they want to build because they're new to
Yep.
AWS. They have, like you said, they have some expertise on some of the areas because customer has asked them to do it,
Correct.
right?
Correct. Yeah.
Now they are looking at this. I think that they're looking at this could be a good partnership with AWS to go and jointly work with them.
Yep.
For those partners, I think first for them to basically build a very high level perspective, which most of the partners have already done that. Like what I would like to do 3 years, 5 years down the line,
Okay. Okay. So start to plan 3 to 5 year journey down the line. Okay.
right? And don't just focus on 1 year, to be very honest, because 1 year just goes like your partnership starts and it ends. You don't know.
Sure.
You're still understanding
Sure.
different programs what we
Yeah.
have. So my request to those partners would be look at very
Long term
long horizon
horizon. Yeah.
perspective, right? So 3 year, 5 years down the line, what they want to do, and if they don't know, it's absolutely fine.
Sure.
My suggestion to them would be so we use a mechanism called working backwards,
Okay. Yeah.
right? So do a Google on
AWS.
uh,
Is it a
it.
principle working backward? It's not a principle. Is it a principle?
It's a
Again,
mechanism.
mechanic. Okay. Yeah. It's a
So
framework or something. Yeah.
if you Google it, you will find culture of innovation.
Yeah.
That's a culture. It's a program which we use with the customers, and it's not just AWS; it's across Amazon. I'm
Yeah.
talking
Yeah. Yeah.
about,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is part of the overall executive briefing uh, council, where uh, we invite customers to come and participate to look at their customer problems, understand their customer problems, and then work backwards. So put customer at the center,
Right.
define the problem statement,
And then go.
and then work backwards.
Awesome. Yeah.
Right. So going back to your question on if partner doesn't know, absolutely fine. It's a great problem to solve.
Yes.
Right. And the question is how is my session would be using working backwards under culture of innovation. Do Google it, you will find a lot of content.
Right.
And look at what are those customers you want to focus on.
Right.
Now the other part of the problem is they don't know who's the customer
Sure.
or which customer to start with,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
Since you mentioned about the scenario where they have been 2, 3 to 5 years, then they have certain customer base already.
Right. Right.
Look at those customers. Come up with a list of the customers, build a profile,
Right.
dive deep on some of the problems which you have addressed. Look at what is happening in those industries. They are especially focusing on some of the
Right.
industries. One thing which is going to work for sure is how generative AI is important
Okay.
for those,
Okay.
right? So generative AI is cutting across industries. It's not very now one industry focus. It's going across, and I don't call that as a horizontal, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It used to be horizontal when we were talking about chatbots, XYZ solutions, or content summarization, creative content, creating marketing content, and things like
Yeah.
that, which is very, very, very horizontal. Now, there are specific
Very
solutions.
industry focused, very ingrained into that particular. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Correct. So if they don't know what to start with, maybe look at what are this generative AI stories which which is more relevant for those customers,
Right.
and that becomes a case for us to work jointly with them,
Nice, nice, nice.
right? Which is the similar approach I'm hoping they are using with their set of customers as well, right? Right? If they go and talk to their customers, the same problem, the same puzzle they have, like where to start,
Correct, correct.
which is again working
Right,
backwards.
right, right, right.
Put them into the central of the environment and think about it. What ask specific questions. So even in the working backwards, there's a set of questions which we ask partners to get those answered by their customers, and invite them for this working backwards workshop.
Awesome.
That's one way to look at to build way to start with the partners, like where they want their all the energies to be
Got it.
focused on when they have to start working with us.
Perfect. So let's keep working on this. While we were talking working backwards, let's take this conversation forward now. Uh, let's say somebody, so who would you try to pair up from a partner side? Any particular persona you generally interact day to day? That's one question. Second, uh, what's a successful trait of a partner, or what's a trait of a successful partner? Like, I know you will not name names. You will be you know you will be very careful in answering this question, and I expect that from you. But I'm trying to put you on spot a little bit, where
Mm-hmm.
you start to work with a partner, and within few days, weeks, or interactions, depending on what it is, you would know that they just can't do it, or you're
Mm.
like, oh wow, these guys are amazing, like they have figured it out, or
Yep.
they are on the right track. uh, so maybe in a very political way, if I'm asking you to say do's and don'ts, or what's a trait of a partner who will become successful when working with AWS ecosystem. And
Yep.
later on, I want to go into the marketplace. I will try this up onto the marketplace. But
Yep.
before we go to the marketplace, something around that, if you can help us understand.
Yep. So normally, what we do, let's say, if partner is showing interest in a partnership, we do similar exercise working backward with them. By the way,
Interesting.
so that as a PSA, that's one of the workstream item we have to create their business based on their business plan.
Sure.
That's where the PDM role, which is partner development manager
Yeah.
role, comes into
Yeah.
that. Where I work with them. We as a pod work very closely with the partners, and their charter is to basically understand the business aspects of the partners, where what they want to do in next 1 to 3 years or 5 years horizon, or the vision what they have, and create a business plan.
Yeah. And a business
And
plan could be simply like, hey, as an SI partner, I want to be build this competency around generative AI, or competency around uh, data analytics, or security, right? Kind of thing.
yeah,
Something like that. Is that a granular thing or very high level?
that's a fact. That's a fact. But that's not the right approach. And I keep telling my
That is not the
partners,
right approach. Oh, awesome.
no.
Okay, so what would be the right? That's amazing.
So the first step, which I keep asking, and that's where, like I said, PDM role comes very, very important for this relationship, is to basically understand partners' strength, weaknesses, opportunities. Kind of SWOT analysis of
Yeah,
the
and you are
partner.
saying PDM, Partner Development Manager,
Partner development,
and
right.
it's a your peer function, right? You.
Might be a function, and we work very
Yeah,
closely. So I'll answer your question, like who's the right persona which I should work with. But for that story to understand, this is very, very
sure.
important, because um, unless there's a business plan,
Yeah,
there's a GTM plan. The technical solutions, technical capabilities, what we are going to build by working with my peer in the partner organization will not fly.
absolutely. That makes
So
sense.
that's very, very important for partner to understand in terms of their strength, weaknesses, opportunity, threats, to come up with a vision which they would like to build with jointly with us. Forget about they have their customers or not, but they have an intent to
In a
go
particular,
and
yeah,
committed with us to basically invest with us to build, let's say, a business of X million of revenue in next 3 years
correct,
by focusing on these industries
right,
with these technology solutions.
right. Solving these problems, basically. Yeah,
By solving
yeah,
these
yeah,
problems, and they don't have the solution.
yeah,
Absolutely, that's a great,
yeah,
because in that case, it's for my job become very easy, I would say, to be very honest, as
sure,
a essay, versus they know what solutions.
yeah.
Typically, I've seen the solution which they are building, or they have it. Sometimes that's not
The
the
right
right
job.
solution.
And the reason you said my job is easy because that means that the partner is open for
Correct.
new ideas to go back to the drawing board, or rather to go to the drawing board and think from ground up versus somebody conceived with a coming with a preconceived idea and saying that this is only what I want to do, and that may not be the right tool to get to the destination. Is that something you were implying? Lovely. Okay.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
awesome. Okay.
And see, I'm coming from technical background. I understand partners, technical teams. They have certain solutions already
Absolutely.
in mind, or they may already build
Yeah.
it, and it's very difficult for them to
Unlearn that,
understand
let that go.
why it is the change is
Yeah.
required, and and end up spending a lot of time into that, versus you have a clean slate,
Correct.
and then let's get into a workshop mode and do a whiteboarding, and like I said, working
Yeah.
backwards to understand what customer needs are, and what are the possible solutions which you can go and jointly build
Right.
that.
Right. Right. Right.
What is the art of the possibility? That's the bigger picture
Yeah.
which I would like to draw with my partners to
Awesome.
build their technical capabilities.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
So
So
that is how my, and going back to the question, the technical
yeah.
persona, I work for SIs. Typically, I work with the CTOs,
Oh.
and they're plus one, plus two,
Hmm.
maybe plus three,
Hmm.
um,
Okay.
in terms of the team size which required, and uh, typically CTOs are not hands-on. So I am a hands-on guy. Love to write code jointly with partners, which means that I would need help from the CTOs to basically align some of the solution
Right.
architects
From their side
who are
to
hands-on, and with them jointly maybe get into a room and start with a basic solution prototyping, um, jointly build based on some of the best practices, like I
and
said, well
some
architect.
cadence, whatever was okay.
Correct. And then that results into a joint solution, which we say, okay, this makes sense. Now,
Yeah.
what is next? So that's the second part. Will start with the MVP,
Right. Right.
where
So
we go and
so I think you just read my mind maybe, and you are going to see this, but now uh, I'm trying to put myself as a business guy, which fortunately or unfortunately I do these days, as a tech guy, right? And now I have my CTO and my team. They build something together with you, right, sir? Right. And of course, the question I will ask to this team now, including you, that all right, is there any way we'll work with AWS, or are there any instruments in place in AWS or programs in place which could help us get in front of the customer? I'm not talking about closing. Closing is a very different thing, but at least
Mhm.
create that visibility. Is there any program like that or any instrument? And do you play a role in that?
So so that's the second part of that puzzle, where
Yeah,
we have a solution now. Which customer to reach out,
yeah,
and what are the different ways to reach out?
yeah,
Uh, um, I think typically when we have this business plan created, there's certain areas which we already identified where we think that this is the way we want to reach out to some of the customers. But when it comes to the as a essay, what role I can play into that in when we're going you're building those solutions, we would have some certain kind of workshops uh, ready when some of these uh, as an outcome of some of the GTNs where we
Oh,
have
okay.
some customers showing interest, um, is to run those workshops with the customers
Awesome.
because that's the only way they can understand the solution
Okay.
deeply.
Okay.
Uh, the best part of that is, and I keep saying that, and this goes back to the first conversation we had, is like untrust, right? Unless end customer understand your solution with the approach or experience they want to see, it is very difficult for them to kind of understand how
Yeah.
this whole solution will
Come together.
going to solve.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a good idea to basically, and I've seen, I highly recommend all my partners to run different sort of workshop with their customers and help them understand how this tool or this solution
Yeah.
works. And sometimes it's not just and a product what they have built.
Mm.
It is also about some of the solutions which and the workshop we have, and this is part of the benefit as a partner. Um, partner gets from this relationship is to basically some of the existing workshop which we have built,
Right.
AWS has built.
Right.
Uh, this works, how the solution works.
Yeah.
They can kind of reuse those workshops
Yeah.
with their customers.
Yeah. I
And if they have any solutions, I would recommend them to follow the same path. By
Same
the
path.
way,
Yeah. So
kind of use
let's
those
double
solutions.
click on that, Lalit, because I want to make sure we just don't leave with a word workshop. One example, or one or two examples, small, like which are like, wow, these are like, think about it, maybe a tactical double click I'm doing, but what's a workshop you have seen that, Sujay, this is so simple, so silly, so intuitive, common sense, again, you will not be using these words, I can, something which works, and we all fail as either SI partners or ISV partners. We fail to build it to that last mile connectivity, right? Taking this in front of the customer and like, aha, this is what was missing. Anything you can say that, guys, just do it. This makes sense. Just build it. What would that be? That workshop.
My suggestion to those partners would be a start with Amazon QDev.
Hmm.
So that's the first thing I would I recommend my partners to start. If they're not using QDev, they're missing big time.
Okay.
And one part of the puzzle is our customers and some of our partners are right now using is to build the whole solution using QCLI.
Oh,
So CLI is the one part where you have a as a developer I have full control on what Q is building for me
right,
with the prompt,
right.
right? So okay, let me step back. So QDev is the software development lifecycle tool for partners and customers
Hmm.
development team to start using it. And you know it is not just a, by the way, development life cycle where it does some processes. It's the journey started with code suggestions
Right.
to code reviews to code scanning to code deployments, but it's now the art of the possibilities is
I
way
guess.
beyond our imagination right now with QCLI interface. Now we call that as a Kiro.
Hmm.
Kiro is one thing which I suggest my partners to go and start using it starting today, I would say, and think about with single prompt they can build um, at least, if not end-to-end solution, at least prototype,
Right.
which usually take like 4 to 6 weeks.
Right.
Now with Kiro, they can get started. We call that the vibe coding, where you just give a prompt and ask Kiro to basically create a solution for me, which is cloud
Right.
native, and it can be easily deployed without a developer need.
Right.
So even you or any business person, which is sometimes we also, people also use term like low code, no code kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
solution.
yeah, yeah.
Don't have to go and build a solution by the developers. Anybody can go and build at least simple
Right,
prototypes, not a production grade
right,
solution, of course,
right,
and start working and look at the imagination, some of the possibility of the solutions with some of the tools can provide. Um, with with workshops, that's more of a combining the story with Kiro, starting with prototype and workshops, basically take this to the next level,
right.
to build a MVP, and then productionize it.
Absolutely. That's a good one.
So I would highly recommend my partners to go and start Amazon Q Devs, CLI, and
Yeah,
Kiro.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
if you're not, if so, if I have tried both, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, I'm using in some of the scenarios where I want freedom, where I don't have to say yes. I trust my QCLI. So if you, I don't know how much you have used that, but people have used it. Understand where I'm coming
Yeah,
from? Is you give a trust to the QDES agent to start building the solution and build the solution to my sandbox environment with the certain network
right,
configurations which we want
right,
to do it.
right, right, right.
Don't make it open public till I go and test it
Yeah,
and things like
yeah,
that. That can be done with single prompt,
right. Correct.
right? So you go and if you don't want to set up on the AWS, you can go and start set up on your local
Locally. Yeah,
desktop,
yeah,
and then move it to that. So the journey is going very, very fast,
yeah.
for developers to basically kind of building some of the solutions which were using taking months
Right. And
with them.
and a lot of skilled people and iterations and mistakes sometimes kind of thing, right? Yeah, yeah.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. That's a good one. That's a very good one.
So going back to your question, I think I would say Kiro and QCLI is must for every partner and to start using it.
It's almost a hack you are suggesting. Like it's the way forward, right? Why would you not use it, sort of thing, right? It's a hack.
Right. Yeah, I think the way I at least look at, being coming from a developer background, I used to go and search about best practices, like I said, AWS documentation
Yeah,
or in some
yeah,
developer communities. That I don't have to do it
yeah,
anymore.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's on platter
So
for
like,
you. You just
call it a hack,
yeah,
or you want to say it's a more of a best practices,
productivity. Yeah, yeah,
productivity tool to use it to fast track my development cycle.
yeah,
I highly recommend.
yeah. Oh, as a security
Uh,
guy, I only think in terms of hack and incidents and that.
Correct.
uh,
Understood that.
this is good. This is very good, Lalit. Uh, I'm going to switch gears a little and segue into that. Ultimately, there was a business plan with PDM, and you were part of that. The goal was set, the solution was identified. You guys built something together with the partner, right? Now there's a workshop or a lab or some instrument, which is which the customers are part of, they are using it. How do we scale? Like, and somewhere in my mind, which I understand of marketplace, for me, marketplace is a scale instrument, right? There are many attributes. It's like a six blind man and an elephant. You can say, oh, marketplace is also, you can close faster, you can bill faster, like and all that stuff. It's all good stuff. Is there? I know for a fact that marketplace does not get you leads. I say that all the time. It's not that you list on marketplace and now you have your tofu top of the funnel solved. That never happens.
Yep.
But again, in the journey, when you are an advisor to your partners, right? Uh, you are you are holding their hand into the world of AWS, right? From a technology lens. How does marketplace fit in all of this? What's because PDM could say something, the other guys could say something, but you as an architect, right,
Hmm.
who is cutting through all the marketing fluff and all the BS and focused on the problem and the solution, right?
Yeah.
How do you put this puzzle of marketplace now with this?
Great question again. So thank you for asking that. And this is another one more puzzle.
And by the way, you have not paid me to ask this question. Just
No,
being just being very clear with the audience.
no. But it's very relevant
Yeah,
question for all of our partner, not just ISV, but
yeah,
it's for SI as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Why I should go and build it? Okay, this is a problem which I want to go and solve it. Have built the solution. How do I go and scale it?
yeah, yeah,
Have you think about scaling earlier while we're building? Answer is
yeah,
yes. But what are the options we have used for scaling this solution, which can impact multiple
yeah,
customers, right? Um, so marketplace is definitely a good uh, platform for SI and ISV partners, of course, to go and publish those solutions. Um, my recommendation to my SI partners is that look at marketplace only if you think that this is the right platform for you.
okay,
As you mentioned, this is not, if you go and build it and you won't publish it, a customer will start coming automatically. That's not going to happen.
correct.
You may get some, unless you have built you're trying to solve one of the biggest problem of the world.
Like
In
hunger or something like, okay, yeah, good air,
people
quality air or something like that. Yeah,
right? Even though you have built a great solution, do expect people may not come
absolutely.
and subscribe to your solution, right? Which is very practical for the SA partners who understand and define how they want to, what platform they want to use to scale.
Correct. Yeah,
Um, if this some of the solution, let's say if it's is a SaaS solution, right? Publishing on marketplace absolutely makes sense.
100%.
Absolutely makes sense. I don't see any reason why they should not go and
Yeah,
publish it.
yeah,
The fact that the whole uh, problem of managing the customers onboarding journey and billing journey is taken, all the heavy lifting is
yeah,
taken care by the
yeah, 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 yeah,
marketplace with very nominal
yeah.
fee, right? And there are a lot of things, the capabilities what we have built on using um,
The
you-
metering, the ease of procurement, a beautiful construct. Yeah, 100%. Yes.
and that's the reason we this go back to the the, the conversation we have, is that what is that problem you are trying to solve? If it is a large SMB problems, or is it a in general SMB problem we are trying to solve? Scale
Yeah,
is the default
yeah,
mechanism, right?
yeah,
And as as a SaaS becomes very natural choice for
yeah,
them, because these SMBs are
yeah,
cost sensitive and they don't have those compliances requirements per se,
yeah,
right? When it comes to managing their
yeah.
data into a multi customer model,
Correct,
right?
correct.
We technically call it a multi-tenant
Yeah,
model,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
So they should definitely go and publish that onto the
yeah.
marketplace. For enterprises as well, I think uh, this is this is a good uh, platform.
Mm,
Uh, Primarily, if it is a self-service model.
correct. Yep, makes sense.
So let's say you have built an a solution which is somebody customer can go and use those AMIs,
Mm,
right? Or if it is a solution, end-to-end solution which CloudFormation templates, they can go and publish that, or containers
yeah.
for that
Or
matter.
some business
Different,
app, stitching few things together. Yeah, on a business app, AWS all put together. Yeah,
correct. Which means that all those the helping customer to reach to marketplace is been taken care by you, because you understand this is maybe a good platform for customers to basically go and subscribe, and your heavy lifting is more on the acquiring those customers,
right,
right?
right,
From the GTM perspective.
right.
and I'm talking about enterprises. Scale is easy, right? So you for scale, you can run some a multi-customer workshops
Right.
or an event
Right.
where you ask them to go and understand the solution what you have built
Yeah.
and how they can
Yeah.
basically start using starting today
Yeah.
if they are
Yeah. And when you are saying scale, you are talking about a segment in AWS, which is the scale segment.
correct.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
So that's how we look at. But in general, scale or SMP, is a very common term
SMB. Yes.
which we know that where customer either go with very focused solution,
Yeah.
which is like a package solution. I don't have technical
Right.
skills, right?
Right.
I just need a solution which address my this business
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
I really don't care where it is hosted, who's
Right.
managing.
Right. Right.
As long as it's solving my business problem, I'm happy
You're
to
right.
get.
Right.
I think that is where the whole scale motion
Right,
will.
right. I have an accounting software, could be anything. It should be available. Backup is a problem, should take backup. I have Teams in multi-location. It should be available over cloud or through a browser, and just give me a package end-to-end service. And maybe there is an SI partner who is doing this, could put it onto a marketplace, and the whole procurement, billing, everything can take care from one. Roughly, mental model is something what came in front of me. Is
Correct.
that a fair? Yeah, okay.
Yep. Yeah. So one solution which is very very common across all the SMBs, and I'm talking about like 2 or 3 years back when I was working with some of these distributors, was the SMB bundles, which is basically a bundle solution of their website hosting, for
Nice.
example,
Okay.
with certain chatbot capabilities, with one contact as form for building the connecting with some
CRM. Okay.
CRM, uh, and taking care of all the security aspects and the branding and the
Awesome.
guidelines, quickly getting onboarded with some few clicks, and they're
Right.
live,
Right. 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 Right.
right? So that is one solution which resonate when it comes to scale.
Awesome.
I see some of these again, some of the generative AI, which is again very horizontal now, like chatbots of the world. When I say chatbot, I'm not just talking about um, the NLP based chatbots where you have to go and write. I'm also talking about the voice bots
Okay.
right now,
Okay.
because
Okay. Okay.
voice bot is going to be voice based is going to be the next
Yes.
scale
Yeah.
mechanism or scale which I see that where most of our partners probably going to build if they're not built
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Uh,
And just to clarify, when you say build, you are really not talking about like a product build. You are talking about a solution build. You're talking about a SI partner maybe building some code, but taking some products, stitching it together. Again, walking backwards as you are showing. This is the business problem of an e-commerce customer. They would need these five things, stitch all this together, host it on AWS, and offer it through. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Makes sense.
so let's go a little deep on the example you gave, like e-commerce.
Yeah,
So let's say personalization, for example,
yeah.
right? Now we are talking about we have a semi bundle website is there, but is not personalized.
Correct.
So how you go and embed personalization features onto those websites. So we have Amazon Personalize, which is one out the box solution for customers to start using it, and partners can kind of build that one variation of that SMB bundle
Right,
with person
right.
where they can target specific customers based on their
Yeah,
uh, region or profile or their
right,
historical purchases,
right,
right? So or multiple
right.
factors around that, and they can go and
And, and sorry to interrupt there, but I'm just working with you here. So if this partner is stuck with using this particular service, that is where they can again work with you. They can sit down with you. They can do that whole architecture, that two week or whatever 1 week sprint, and at least get the prototype out, right? And okay, this is where you'll unlock them,
correct.
sort of upskill them, or whatever the terms we use these days.
So one thing which your partner gets a benefit from this from PSA's perspective is so we work very closely with the with the field essays, where we get a lot of
Mm.
customer insights.
Mm.
And the example which I gave, like voice bot or personalize, one another use case which is coming very common is around IDP, intelligent document processing,
Okay.
and
Interesting.
test to SQL,
Mm.
right?
Absolutely.
These are like top four or
Yeah.
five solutions which especially in this. I'm talking about, again, going back to a question on scale.
Yeah.
What are the scale
Yeah.
solutions which are there? We take this input from the field. We analyze what multiple customers asking. What are the common patterns?
Mm.
And then we go and build those solutions with partners. So that's the benefit they
Right.
get. So they don't have to uh, read tons of different material from Gartners of the world, uh, right? They can still go and do
Yeah.
that, right? They would like to see, what's other things that are
Sure.
happening. But when it comes to quick joint solution, I have to kind of go and build jointly. I don't have to, study and plan and then go and jointly build. I We normally shorten that
Yeah.
cycle,
Yeah.
so that maybe a 6 months to maybe a
Yeah. Yeah.
weeks, a couple of
Yeah.
weeks to go, and because we sometimes we already have those solutions already
Absolutely.
ready.
You have that you have that design pattern. You have what to do, how to do it. Kind of. You have
So I give you example which is very very uh, most of our partners were very excited. So I did this AWS Ambassador. I run this program in
And
APJ.
thank you for that because that is something absolutely want to talk about. But why don't you continue the story and then we'll go into ambassador? That's the
Yeah.
segue. Good.
So that is how the when we have some of these technical executives building joint solution with us,
Yeah.
running some of these programs with the customers. Some of the top technical executives who are actually kind of doing hands-on with us, evangelizing the solutions with the customers. We onboard them as an ambassador,
Right.
and this is only for partners,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And the benefit of that is now we have you know a certain set of focus partners with commitment and solutions jointly they have built. Now we have to take them to the next level,
Correct.
right, where we can enhance some of the solution which is not maybe not be right now industry specific, right?
Mm.
Can be, or like I said, most of them were building chatbots but not voice bots,
Correct.
right? So I work with the AWS field team and our internal prototyping team. We call it the PACE team. So we recently did a couple of workshops where we actually handed over this code base to our partners to fast track some of these opportunities,
Awesome. Awesome.
right? So they have this. So one day is the enablement, which solution handing over. Second day, they jointly building with us.
Yeah.
Third day, those solutions are ready
Bam.
to do the prototyping.
So let's double click a little on PACE because I am aware of that team a little bit and the ambassador program, right? Again, how
Mhm.
did this all come together? And you lead the entire EPJ charter, right? So it's a big deal. Again, why are you doing it? Because that's above and beyond what is expected, right? What the job was offered to you, and how do you put this together back, like into the whole partner journey? If you can tie the ambassador part, and of course, help us understand the PACE team, like what is this team about, and how does somebody works with a PSA or an ambassador team, like and into the PACE team.
Yep. Um, so I'll first cover the PACE team.
Sure. Yeah.
PACE team is the AWS internal prototyping team. And the charter is basically to help AWS customers to understand the art of possibility with the prototypes.
Okay. The art of possibility is amazing. Okay.
And we're focusing on generative AI, and of course, data plays a very critical role into that. So there's a ready-to-use accelerators what they have built
Mm.
with based on the actual customer requirement, and these prototypes are being deployed in customer accounts as well, multiple customers across the globe. And uh, with ambassadors. we we ask them to basically pick those solutions based on their existing opportunities with the customers, what they're asking. Pick those solutions and start deploying, which was taking ages for them to basically go
Got
and
it.
build.
Got it.
Now they have not just the code base, they have the code base which is relevant for the customers because they're bringing those opportunities and the use cases
Right.
which they're asking. And then they have a solution ready in their AWS account, right? We are deploying the solution into their AWS
Right.
account to take to their
Right.
customers. Now, where exactly ambassadors' role come into that is typically most of the enablement what we do with the partner is one time. We ask them to come and enable, and then we assume partner already know that. With ambassador, there's a sense of responsibility which is there for ambassadors to uh, pick some of the solutions, help customers, show the outcomes, and socialize. Maybe do similar kind of I may be doing some similar kind of podcast with other ambassadors down the
Right.
line for who's basically build the solution based on this
Right.
initiatives and help
Right.
customers at a scale.
Yeah. So ambassadors become the bridge and the continuity sort of thing to, yeah, okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense. And
So
like most of your partners will have an ambassador, like, or they invest in ambassador program. How does, like, what's the ratio generally like? Or if you don't want to share these details, again, as a partner, how should I think about an ambassador and invest into that program?
we have right now, as we are speaking, around 45 ambassadors from India.
Okay.
And these are across ISV, SIs, and GSIs.
Sure.
But yes, the ratio is very less, and the reason for that is we pick, only partners who are committed to this program.
Sure.
There's a lot of investment by AWS onto this.
Sure.
We build their technical muscle to the next level.
Sure.
As I mentioned, with the hands-on solution with AWS using Q is they have not done in the past,
Got it.
right?
Got it.
With any program.
Got it.
Um, so that's one benefit they see by investing in this program. And second is, if you remember earlier this year, AWS Transform was launched.
Yes.
So we did in January we did very focused ambassador enablement on AWS Transform beta
Yeah.
versions,
Yeah. Yeah.
and some of the ambassador organization become our launch partners for AWS Transform. So people who don't know about AWS Transform, it's another agentic solution what we have built for customers to fast track their migration and modernization journey on AWS. So be that VMware exit, this tool will help to do an assessment, create a plan, right sizing, and actually migration as well with one single interface.
Awesome.
That's the benefit of this tool. Similarly, for mainframe modernization, it helps to move from COBOL to Java, and then build a plan and gradually move some of those objects from legacy infrastructure of IBM to Java.
Awesome.
.NET again, we have did an enablement for .NET to .NET Core. Now .NET Core is not just Windows; it's basically can deploy on Linux
Linux
as
as
well.
well. Yeah.
So it's basically, if you look at the cost benefit perspective from customer perspective, it is they're saving around 40% if they're not using
Yeah.
Windows
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
line,
Yeah. Yeah. The whole
right?
licensing
So
is.
all those journeys which customer was looking for some generative AI based tools to fast track their journey on migration modernization concern.
Yeah.
We did that. We did with the ambassadors, and we got a very decent success on through that program as well. Similarly, with Base, and I'm planning to run similar kind of programs for building more technical muscles, joint solutions, um, actively engaging with our customers in some of these events which we are going to host in India and globally
Right.
through this program.
Right.
So I think there are a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
It's a commitment from AWS and a commitment from partners. If they have any questions, they definitely reach out to the PSAs. PSAs on the all the first level of interaction with the partners,
On the
where
ambassador side.
under ambassador program.
Lovely.
For PACE team, they have a solution they want to jointly build with us. I think ambassador program will become very natural choice because we have kind of very build kind of structured program around that. So just join the AWS Ambassador program, and then you will get into some of these solutions and the initiative which we are jointly building
Got it.
with partners.
Got it. Got it. Perfect. Perfect. Uh, so moving further, right? And I think we have tied so many things together now, Lalit. Right? What does a continuity with a partner looks for you? Like, let's say now I started my journey as a partner. Uh, I recently was part of a initiative by AWS called BOX, right? Business Outcome Accelerator, if I remember the acronym. And you were there, right? Of course, as part of that. A quick primer, if you can help from your perspective understand what this box is, because I could see the outcome and I was pretty excited to be part of that and looking forward to take it with the partner. But a quick construct on that, and again, what role going back a PSA or your team, somebody like you plays, and how this all comes together.
Great, great topic. It's very, very close to my heart. The only difference is it's been structured in a box program recently, but this conversation we are having with the partners,
All the
the
time.
back
Yeah, yeah.
all the time we have this conversation. But I'm glad this program has come up,
Nice.
and there's a lot of excitement with SI and ISV partners both. So people who don't know about Box is basically the program where um, SI and ISV partners can jointly work to build a solution or a co-build solution with AWS. Um, and uh, there's it could be like two SI or two ISV jointly.
Yeah,
It could be SI ISVs. The structure doesn't matter.
yeah.
What matters is what is that business problem we are trying to solve here.
Correct, correct.
If it is very ISV heavy focus, we ask ISV to kind of lead that initial solution building along with SI, because SI brings a lot of value in terms of flexibility, the technical capability outside of the ISV solution.
Correct.
What ISV brings on the table,
Yeah,
which they were not able to do it earlier,
right,
right?
right.
A lot of opportunities which ISV have. I'm sure you're coming from ISV
Yeah,
backgrounds. You might have come across certain situations where um, you you would have done it better if you have a
SI
SI
part. Yeah, absolutely. A partner in place. Yeah,
helping customers to basically cross that line,
yeah,
and yeah, you're saying that okay, this is my product does, that's all I can
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah,
For this, for these kind of scope of work, you should involve
yeah,
SIs.
yeah.
Now that's problem we are trying to solve with this, because being customer obsessed, I keep mentioning that, um, we want partner also follow the
So come
same
together, work
principle.
backwards. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Correct. Right. So it is, if it is a customer business problem, and ISV plays a very major role, then take the SI jointly. And if, let's say, if SI has seen a major problem and he believed that there's a potential ISV solution which can hook into the overall
Yeah,
solutions
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we want to build, or multiple ISVs as well,
Correct, correct.
right? Depending on how big problem problem you're trying to
Yeah,
solve with the customer.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and in that case, SI play a lead role
Correct.
into that.
Stitching everything together, multiple. Yeah, yeah,
Ownership remains with the
yeah.
SI, and ISE playing helping.
To solve
So
that
I think,
particular problem.
yeah, it's since we are doing the first time, it's a pilot, and there's decent traction I've seen with the partners, especially in India, to go and build joint solution with
Yeah,
us, and of course we give a lot of benefits, funding benefits as
yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
to accelerate building the solutions. By our, we also have PSA playing a very critical role, because when it comes to stretching all this together,
Yeah,
there has to be one technical owner
correct.
into that,
Right. And the
right? From
PSA would be the technical. Okay. You will be
technical
there
owner for that for SI, and similarly, if ISV is reading that, then PSA
of the
from the
ISV.
SV team should basically on that, because they become responsible for
Absolutely.
taking the
It's a
ownership of
great
the whole
initiative.
solution.
I loved,
I agree.
that piece, and I would recommend, right, uh, and as you said, it's not really an SI and ISV. Everybody comes together, right? So, folks, at least who are doing, uh, are working with AWS ecosystem. I just use this word all the time, AWS ecosystem. I think talk to your PSAs or your PDMs and inquire about this box program. I loved it, that the workshop which I was part of. But I did not know the role of a PSA. See, I was part of the workshop, but I missed that because I don't know why. Maybe I was lost. But thanks for educating that. That makes sense. Like who owns the technical, who has the technical ownership? Yeah, it totally makes sense. Uh, I know you wear multiple hats and because I when I was introduced to you, I was a little confused. I'm like, he's a PSA. What is he doing on the ambassador side and kind of thing? But but now even more I know of you, and but of course, when I've interacted with you a few times, I figured out, okay, this is your heart, this is your brain, whatever you can say, the
Yep.
two different worlds, but and they of course logically come together. uh,
Just want to add that, Sujay. So since you asked for a PSA role, I think one thing which I would like to highlight here is it is not just technical acumen here.
mm,
It's a lot of business acumen required in this role.
right.
Uh, uh, the fact that partner want to build a solution is one part of the puzzle. Like I said, why is when is very very
Yeah,
important,
and how does it
if
make
you,
business sense?
which means that you should have a business acumen, that you should not go and build some solution of telcos if their focus is not there,
Right,
right?
right.
um, uh, Partner comes with different thoughts and ideas. To be very honest,
Right.
I have very very interesting partner which I manage,
Yeah,
especially you know SI partners. They get excited with a lot of things which is happening around them,
absolutely.
right? Be that AWS, be that what is happening in the market, be that discussion they're having with the customers.
Yeah,
um, my role, I believe, that is to kind of structure that thoughts into a shape where they can get some
outcome.
outcomes,
Yes,
right?
yes.
uh, which mean that there a lot of maybe filtering is required. It may be bringing more business outcomes required.
Yeah,
Is it really making sense
sense.
for building a solution?
Right,
Thought process is
right.
required. Technical creation is one part of the puzzle. Like I
Right.
said, I think anybody can solve that. Being if you're coming from technical background,
Correct.
what is very very important for this role, which I believe is that making sure whatever the partner is not able to think to make the solution at a scale
Yeah,
and be successful, uh, you have to wear that hat,
amazing, amazing.
right? So, and there's also on some of the question which you asked, like how to become partner, become more successful,
Yes.
right? Unless you don't wear that hat, you become more of a technical advisor, which is a great thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely, we should definitely, this being technical, we should definitely do
yeah,
that. But don't do that for sake of learning and something which is happening around you or with the partners and the developers getting excited. Think about what. So that's where the business plan and the goals comes into picture.
going
You
back.
have that goals, your technical enablements, the technical capability, technical muscle which you're
Yeah,
building, is should be aligned with some of those goals,
yeah,
right? Otherwise it's going to be just one or the another enablement, and things
yeah,
will you know
yeah.
come down and there's no outcome.
Or the outcome from a business perspective, or you will end up building something very fancy, next
Yep.
shiny ball jumping around, but like no revenue or whatever the business out or the ROI as we generally use the term.
I think so. At this good point you raised, that one thing which I'm not saying not to build and not come up with the technical ideas and not building it. Uh, I I'm coming from an organization where innovation was the a key differentiator for any technical person on the team
Mm,
to drive some of the innovation,
mm,
right?
mm.
Even though they are not related to business, but as a developer, senior architects, or architects, they have seen a common pattern where they can go and innovate something.
Right,
It's very, very technical focused.
right.
It could be retiring some technical depths, um, building some automation on top of the existing
Yeah,
solutions, or accelerator they have built, which may not be solving a business problem, but accelerating
right,
solution building,
right, right,
right?
right, right, right. Frameworks or reusable. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right. I'm absolutely onboarded with those innovations and ideas, and the the technical capabilities. All as a technical person, we should go and build that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a complete solution building, I think that is where I am. I ask my partners to basically look at: is this really you want to
Yeah,
build
yeah,
that?
yeah, 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 yeah. No, totally. Because as as engineers or technical people, we get excited about the possibilities. Like, let's do
Yeah.
it. I can do it. Fold up the sleeves and start doing stuff. But the question always comes on the who would buy it, why would they buy, how will we get discovered? That whole GTM is actually a discovery problem we are solving. How would a
Yeah.
customer come to know about us, or how would we come in front of the customer, right? So this whole co-building. So we talk a lot about co-selling, from the marketplace point. But what you educated me actually one more time is the co-building part, right? And how this co-building and then the co-selling come together.
Right.
I was working with our PSA, and we ended up writing this beautiful blog, not one, three blogs, which went on to AWS blogs. And I have seen people reading those blogs and coming to us. And when I asked a customer that, hey, how did you come to know about us? Like, oh, I saw that blog on AWS blogs, right?
Mm.
Something which you would do with your partners, right? You
Yep.
would talk about it. You would talk about the philosophy, why this, what was the problem, how we built it together, kind of thing. So this becomes a discovery engine, right? And it's not coming from a very fancy GTM. It's a simple blog was written, and a very honest blog was written, and it was published on AWS, like blogs. So something which I'm sure you do. You have been doing
Yep.
it, right? Yeah, that's amazing. Uh, Lalit, let's talk a little bit about you as a person now. Like you said, you write code. Uh, I hope you don't write codes on weekend. Maybe you do. I don't know. What are your weekends like? Like what do you guys what do you do? Like apart from family and all that good stuff, right? But you read a lot. You still code. You research. You're building your own startup, or plan to launch something. What do you want to share?
So, what I can definitely like to share with you is on weekend, I don't code,
Okay,
right?
bless you, lucky you.
So, well, I used to do it depending on. So, I was building one internal solution for the partners. I mean, that time I remember I was working on the weekend and writing code whole day.
Okay.
But nowadays I don't do that. I spend most of my time on you know not thinking about work, because that's give a little bit different, a kind of break
Yeah.
to uh,
Unwind to recharge,
unwind,
and then yeah.
right? So I think that psychologically you should take some break.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, when you're working 5 days a week, spend some time 2 days with your family, and
Yeah.
um, but I do sometimes work. I do little bit research whenever I get time
Right.
on the weekends as well,
Right.
to prepare my next week.
Awesome. Okay.
Not that I do for whole 2 days. It's normally
Few
the
hours.
night
Yeah.
time, when I feel like I have not uh, there's something which is going in my mind. I have not think actually kind of research on that,
Mm.
which I do on the weekends.
Awesome.
Not that I don't do in the weekdays. Sometimes I also do that, but I try to keep myself on weekends open for thinking what is happening around some of the areas which I have not explored yet.
Okay.
um, and these days I'm also building some workshops for myself, which I can try out with my partner. So depending on how is my mood, I spend a lot of time on watching web series and
Nice.
movies, and
Nice.
that's how my weekend starts. But
Nice.
you cannot do that for whole 2 days, right?
Of course. Of course. Of
That's
course.
again, you feel like, okay, I've lot of uh,
Yeah.
content I have seen, and I
Yeah.
want to get into my
Yeah.
novel job.
Yeah. You read at all?
I used to. I read articles, by the way. I don't read books much.
Any particular place you go read, or it's very much like as it comes at you?
I prefer reading a lot of uh, prescriptive guidance which is published on AWS. So that's one my favorite area where I
Nice.
learn different ways to build solutions and some of the best practices, which somebody has experienced it and published it. So that's one. And then I also read McKinsey, Gartner articles
Awesome.
whenever I get uh, a chance to go and not just reading. I think, and let's go back to what you just mentioned, like doing the research.
Yeah. Yeah.
There lot of my experiences reading those articles is there's something which they have mentioned, because they have a lot of data, right? They cannot
Yeah.
publish everything
Right.
with the data,
Right.
which means that something which is not resonating with you, you go and do a research.
Right. Double click on that.
If you are not,
Valid
you
effort.
go and do a research. Either
Right.
ways.
Right. 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 Right.
So that takes my 2 3 hours sometimes. If I even reading one article, which is one pager,
Right.
actually do one kind of research onto that,
So,
because there's no
so
supported data.
as a true Amazonian, I think you have imbibed that. It's like peeling the layers. I think there's something like you are not reading something on the surface. You are going in the weeds of it, right? As much till the time it doesn't satisfy you, I guess, right?
Exactly.
So,
I think it,
uh,
it should be the habit of all of us, not just going with the face of the content coming
yeah,
from Gartners of the world. It can be, you should
and
definitely go into a research.
absolutely, absolutely, that's a good advice. I do have one more question. Well, I can keep talking to you all day long, Lalit. These
Same here.
these conversations are so much fun. Uh, I want to close somewhere on uh, the fact that from here, next, I don't know, maybe 3 years we should talk. But what are you looking forward to? Like you have been around for some time, right? You have
Yep.
seen technology from that 80, 85, 80, 86 Y2Ks of the world, because the year you said you started, reminded
Yeah.
me of Y2K, right?
Correct.
Then all this whole high programming language, all the fun stuff, Stack Overflows, and now this whole Gen AI, like beautiful time, like one of the best generations to be alive, right? Uh, uh, Anything for next 3 years, and I'm trying to tie it back into the GTM part,
Mm.
partnerships, right? Your world you are in right now. Uh, Trying to tie it back, even outside of AWS, if you have seen patterns which have really worked for the partners. So next 3 years, and maybe next 5 years, because you are waiting for your red badge, I know, right? 10 years you will get your red badge. Only 5 years you have been accomplished. Why not, right? How do you put all of this together?
So I think I would see myself spending another 3 years, maybe 5 years, building a very AWS executive uh, partner executive forum, or a community, you can say that, where and Ambassador is something very
Part
similar
of,
if you look at,
yeah.
but this may be another. very executive, very exclusive group, where with of course with the help of our AWS leadership team to kind of look at how do we go and uh, expand
Mm,
with those partners leaders who has intent to go another mile with us by
nice,
XYZ investments
nice.
uh, in certain solutions technology areas for focusing maybe more on the industry this time. I think that
Okay,
puzzle I see we have to uh, kind of solve at a
sure.
broader level. I think we, in some shape and form, we already started
Already
with
there.
the customers, which means that the when it comes to partners, working with the partners, the industry knowledge is very important. Uh,
Mm,
which persona you're talking to, that is very very important.
right, right,
What your message you want to give is very very important,
right, right,
which
right,
is which resonates with their business and the role they are playing
right,
in their
right,
organization, right?
right.
um, I may be spending more time into that. That's how I look at maybe starting with certain industries to get
Sure.
started with, where most of my partners want to
Are
focus,
already there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
right?
makes sense.
And pick those industries and problem areas which is cutting across multiple customers, and build the not just the industry knowledge, provided like I said, partners should be interested into that, right?
Right,
Is there, because there's investment by partners as well. It's not that it's a dual investment, like we and partner jointly thinking to co-invest into the
right.
project, right? So I think next 3 years, maybe focusing more on the industry, I would say, with very very focused partners,
Awesome.
with the investment from us, with very very exclusive programs,
Sure.
okay, which will excite them. There's few things which are happening right now. I don't want to discuss right now. This is again more
We'll
internal.
wait. We'll wait. We'll wait.
But we are pretty soon going to launch a pilot with maybe one or two partners to start with, to enable, go deep, building their capabilities on industries and solution, focusing primarily on data and Gen AI
Awesome.
for executives, right?
Makes sense.
Which is, and the partners, like I said, who are ready to co-invest with us. So with this pilot, maybe we'll start rolling out to other partners next 1 year, 3 year down the line.
Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. I did say that was the last question, but I want to, something came, popped in my mind, want to put you on spot. You are much loved, very popular in at least, AWS team here, I know for a fact. Tell us something which you would like to share about you, which most of your colleagues don't know. It need not be embarrassing, but it can be anything. It can be fun. It can be something which they would be like, oh my god, I didn't know this about Lalit.
Yeah, I think people who know me, I'm very, very open. So you're asking about a least known fact. That's a term.
Little bit, yes, yes.
So people know me, aware of some of the practices which I follow, like my meditations is one which I do
Oh,
very often.
okay.
Uh, Before joining AWS, were very very regular. Unfortunately, I'm not very so-called a meditation practitioner, but whenever I get time, I practice.
Like the Vipassana type kind of thing, where you have gone to Igatpuri's kind of like or some other form of meditation.
Um, I think this will require another podcast.
So, okay. I
At this
see you have
time,
already sown the seed for it.
since you asked for that, I am actually very into meditations. I had done certain practices. I still do that. For me, meditation means that a point where uh, you are not being getting impacted with what is happening around you. You are in completely stateless mind, um, and you want to do something to reach to the next level, and you start practicing in your mind
Wow.
without getting distracted with what is happening around you. And
Wow.
typically that can happen early mornings, right?
Mm.
So you will hear lot, like I said, we can talk about that in
I want to.
and
I want to.
maybe another podcast. But if you read any religious books, right, every book will ask you to practice meditation early mornings.
Early
There's a
morning.
reason for that, because you become very less distracted. You're fresh, your mind is fresh, there's not much noise around you, people may be sleeping. And that is where you start practicing it, and you come to a stage where you completely stateless, not getting distracted even in the daytime. Okay. um,
Wow. That continues, that
that
aura, that
continues.
phase
That,
continues.
yeah, that continues your aura, but you have to practice a lot. There's a lot of practicing which is required. And
Why the hell we didn't start with this topic? We could have just.
I know. So I want to keep this very specific to the the agenda.
No,
Right.
but this is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I'm sure a lot of your colleagues don't know about this. I'll give a shout out to you when I write about it that, hey, if you want to know more about Lalit, this is what you should know, that this is what he does, right? This is what his.
Absolutely.
Uh,
And
you,
it
you,
started because of the incident which happened, by the way, because that's another least known fact, which is I'm a tsunami survivor, by the way. So it's back in
oh,
2004 when tsunami happened. I was in Colombo with my wife, walking on the beach, and we got drowned. And this is my second life, if you can say that.
are you
Uh,
serious?
yep. So that's a least known fact.
That was one of the biggest, like, big one,
Yep.
and you were there, and
I
you
was.
said, did I hear the word drowned?
Yes,
Wow, you are a blessed soul. You
I
are,
am. I
you
am,
are
no
a
doubt.
blessed soul.
No doubt. I really grateful to the blessings I have, not just my family, friends, people around me, and the energy which I got from uh, all of people around me, and that helped. Of
Oh,
course,
you,
later that I started meditating.
oh my God, you have compelled me to book a ticket to Gurgaon and come to discuss this with you in person. My goodness,
Yep.
this is beautiful, and there cannot be a better topic, any question to follow this. This is like you have to just soak this in now. I am soaking it in as you are talking, and just
Yep.
take it in, sort of thing, right? Oh, amazing.
We should
Yeah.
start another podcast.
We will. And thanks for your time, Lalit. This was an amazing conversation. And
Same
I'll
here.
tell you why. I've spoken a lot on business, spoken a lot with technical people, but this is like that amalgamation, that bridge between tech and business put together, right? And that's the persona you are in right now at AWS, right? So more power to you. Thanks for taking time. You have given a lot of your time, Lalit. Thank you so much. This is beautiful, and you have left very cleverly, very craftfully, and very generously the next conversation we absolutely should be having. As to how does this all is put together, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
one call to action, maybe, if you have any partners who are interested, and if they still have questions, maybe, we can use some forum. You can,
absolutely.
uh,
So thanks for how does somebody if not reach to you, but how does somebody get connected from outside? Like come through another partner, come reach out to somebody in AWS, reach out to you directly. Is there
I
a
think from,
monthly setup which is set up, monthly meeting somewhere, forum, open forum, office hours?
I would say, they should reach out first. Point of contact should be the PSA and
Mm,
PDMs. If they don't not manage, go through the distributors, and
distributors, okay.
we have Red Intern, we have Income
Or
IT.
maybe they have their own account managers, maybe through an account
Yeah,
manager
they
also.
can
Okay.
start from there, and I think the s- you know till they reach a advanced partner with some technical competencies, I think that is where their journey with us probably will start with how they're looking at 3 year, 5 year down persona with what
Perfect.
they want to go and jointly build up with us.
Perfect.
And that's where they can reach out to me. If it is
Perfect.
ambassador program, I'm on LinkedIn. People can reach out to me. Just
Yeah.
find
And when we publish this, we will be putting links to a lot of these things, not just your LinkedIn, but you spoke about the box program. So there is a page on AWS, so we'll link the box program. But
yeah.
there's also, right? So for our audience who are
And we have
listening.
ambassador program portal page as well. You can refer that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. No, but your LinkedIn is the entry point to the ambassador program anyway. So we'll do that. This was beautiful, Lalit. Thank you so much. I really apologize. I have been talking to you about this and we could not record it earlier. But I'm so gladful that this happened. I'm so glad this happened and very, very grateful to you again for your time and all your insights.
Thank you, and thanks for this opportunity. Sujay. I really appreciate. Uh, I think being not having a script is the best thing we could have.
Yeah,
Um, to become very uh, you know very natural in terms of what the messaging or
yeah,
experience which we want to share.
yeah,
And I think podcasts should be like that only. Once it is scripted, it's maybe some movie or a web
yeah,
series.
yeah.
uh, Podcast is supposed to be not having.
A
Of
conversation.
course, there should be some kind of mental model what
Yeah.
key topics we want to discuss, but coming straight from the heart is what excites people. And hoping your audience will love that. So thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. Look forward. All right. I wish you a pleasant day ahead and thanks again, Lalit. Talk to
Thank
you
you, sir.
soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.